No, I'm just testing it out. Yeah, I just started the live stream. Oh, it says someone's watching. Les is on. Just want to make sure that you can see it.
This is what I gotta get it. We're relaxed. Time to sit down, girls.
Alright, your mom is feeling
The green room. She just wants things to like start. All right.
Yeah. Should we do it?
All right, let's go. Let's go hang out. Take a deep breath.
I'll come join you.
like it has to what's up? They're Instagram live. Oh wow. So that's one person on.
Alexa's on?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get Jamie to get on, but can't figure it out.
So no Catherine?
This section of the section right now. Hello.
Hi, Simi. How are you?
What can you tell me what you're seeing? Does it show you Are you able to see a notification to your email that says live stream started? that horribly.
Welcome everyone. We're about to start. My name is Eyal Vidlin, and I'll be accompanying the service this afternoon. I know that Bodhi and the family would love for this to be a participatory celebration. And one way that we can do that is with our voices, by singing. Even though these might be new melodies for some of you, you're absolutely invited to join. Sing along. It's a way that we can co-create this rite of passage and make it communal and welcoming and safe for everyone. So we'll begin with a nigun. A nigun is a wordless melody. So lai 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 or nai 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 or bye 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 would work, or actually any syllable that spontaneously comes out of your mouth is welcome here.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everyone to my bar mitzvah. I am so grateful that you all came here to support me in this significant moment in my life. I am especially grateful for those who came from out of town, and most especially to my grandparents, Poppy, Baba, and me, and my grandpa Nerdy, who is here in spirit. Thank you to my family for making this opportunity possible. This evening, we will partake in a Shabbat service to help us connect to something larger than ourselves. In this service, we will be going over many prayers, and you have a Gesidor that has Hebrew and English transliterations and translations for every prayer. This is a moment I will probably remember for the rest of my life.
Hello everyone, my name is Amy Atkins, and I've had the absolute pleasure of serving as Bodhi's teacher and mentor, as he has been on a 2-year journey to understanding what his Judaism means to him. So tonight, he takes our place, or his place, as our leader of Jewish wisdom. And he is going to be saying a lot of prayers, and he's also going to be introducing the prayers with his own meanings and interpretations. So this will really be unlike any bar mitzvah that you've been to before, even if you were at Levi's bar mitzvah, because everything has been personalized by Bodhi, and as you will see, Bodhi will be leading most of the service. If you do have a part, if you would please walk through that door, there's about 4 stairs just around the corner, and then come up that way, and then that way you can be honored with the parts that Bodhi has selected for you. And if you are part of the generational Torah pass, we'll be explaining more of that later. We're going to do it actually down here. So I'll give a little more instructions when we get to that part. And then my final instruction, if you would all please silence your cell phones so we can all be present together today.
To start my service, we will now sing Hine Mato. This is a song that celebrates us all being together. I would now like to call out my Aunt Jill to read this poem by Cooper Finnegan.
Prayer, like a telephone wire to God, to thanks, offering the greatest connection, not measured by service bars or your Wi-Fi, measured by the feeling and emotion you put into it. A prayer can be the littlest of things, like a little rock with a ring on it, or as large as the ceremony you are attending right now. A prayer can be a toast at a dinner party, or a speech at a funeral, putting words together that only one may understand, not worrying about grammar or elaboration, no matter your background or religion. When you pray, you are tapping into this telephone wire, connecting to something greater than yourself, something greater than all of us, and giving it your thanks.
Today, at my bar mitzvah, I will be receiving a talit. A talit is a prayer shawl that one wears on special and holy occasions. The talit that I'm receiving was my grandpa Nardis, which makes it extra special. Judaism and family meant a lot to him, and I know he would have wanted to be here today, so I'm honored to wear this talit. I'd like to call my mom, dad, and Levi to read this poem by Rabbi Rami Shapiro and to present me with my talit.
A talit represents the world.
It's
four corners are the outer reaches of the known.
Its fringes are the subtle teasing of the unknown.
To stand wrapped in the tallit is to take your place in the world. To stand wrapped in the tallit is to take responsibility. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzotav v'tzivanu l'hitateh v'tzitzit. Full of blessings is the spirit of the world. Through the ritual act of putting on a tallit, we have the opportunity to experience the sacred and our special relationship with Judaism. I will now introduce the Shehecheyanu. The Shehecheyanu is a prayer that one says at the first of Sunday. Today is the first of many things for me. It is the first day of my Jewish adulthood, which gives me more responsibilities. It is the first day that all of you are here together in the same room, and it is the first time I'm leading a Shabbat service. This prayer represents being present in the moment, so we can be aware of all of these first. Please join me in singing the Shehecheyanu. I'd like to call up my cousins Amelia and Phoebe to read this poem about being grateful by Rabbi Rami Shapiro.
Spirituality is living with attention. Living with attention leads me to thanksgiving. Giving thanks is the response I have to the great debt I collect with each breath I take. Attending to the everyday miracle of ordinary life. I'm aware of the interconnectedness of all things.
I cannot be without you. This cannot be without that. All cannot be without each, and each cannot be without everything. Giving thanks is not for everything. It is from everything. May I cultivate the attention to allow the things that is my life to inform the things that is my daily life.
This prayer is about being grateful and thankful for what you have. I am grateful for my family and friends. I am grateful that I have a house to live in with good food and water. I am grateful I have the opportunity to play soccer and sleep in on weekends. This is a very joyful prayer. Please sing along with me.
Amen.
This next prayer is a call for God to listen to our prayers for the service. We are saying a prayer to create a sacred and safe place. I'll sing the first line and you'll sing the second. Please rise. Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. 4.
All good.
Bless the infinite, the blessed one. Blessed is the infinite, the blessed one, now and for all time.
And you may be seated.
I'd like to call on my cousin Jason to read this quote by Albert Einstein.
The essence of Jewish life seems to be an affirmative attitude to the life of all creation. The life of the individual has meaning only insofar as it aids in making the life of every living thing nobler and more beautiful. Life is sacred. Jewish tradition also contains splendid expression, a sort of intoxicated joy and amazement at the beauty and grandeur of this world, of which humankind can just form a faint notion. It is the feeling from which true scientific research draws its spiritual substance, but which also seems to find expression in leafy trees and the crash of the waves.
Love can be represented by many things, including the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving/giving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. It can also be represented by passion and enthusiasm. This prayer is about love in its many forms of expression. I'd like to call on my mom to join me and sing the Ahava Rabbah. Please join us. This next prayer to me means that every living being is connected. Every action you take creates an impact on someone else, so we should always be kind. Even if you think that what you do doesn't change anything, it does. You get reminded of this when you walk into a room from the mezuzah, which contains the Shema. Now I would like to call up my tia Jessica to read this poem by Rabbi Rami Shapiro.
Meditation on oneness. It is all one, the valleys, the mountains, the shore, and the sea. It is all one. And so am I, this fragile reed with a beating heart and a jumping mind. This thinking that is breath and breathing. It's all one. From one comes each, and to one each returns. And in between is one as well. One in anger and one in song, one in play and one in pain, one in danger and one in redemption. It is all one, and one is all there is. I sing the wonders of all that is one, and the simple truth that I know one is within me.
The first word of the Shema means listen. So if you close your eyes, specifically covering them with your right hand, you can really listen without the distractions that present themselves when we look around. Please join me. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Le'olam Amen. Ve'ahavta directly means, and you shall love. It is that you should love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Please join me in chanting the Ve'ah. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzvachah hayom alavavecha v'shinartam levanecha v'dibartam v'shitecha b'beitecha u'vletecha alavaderech u'shopecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot aladecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'tartam al mezuzot beitecha u'bisharecha. I would now like to call out my Uncle David, who I call Uncle, to read the translation of the Ve'ah.
Love this source with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to heart these instructions I'm giving you today. Teach them to your children. Say them when you're home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand. Let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on the gates.
This next prayer, to me, means doing the things you are scared of so you can overcome your fears. If you are brave, take risks, and you overcome fear, it's a great feeling. When you have less fears or are fearless, you can do more things and can more likely achieve your dreams or goals. When the Jews escaped Egypt and reached the Red Sea, they saw that the ocean was going to be an obstacle in their path, and some were afraid of it. When Moses parted the sea, they got to the other side, they sang this prayer, because believing in what you want to happen is powerful. Please join me in singing the Mikvah. This next prayer is to take a breath and have a reflection on what we've done so far. We are going to rise and then reflect in silence after we sing the first line together. I will let you know when to be seated. If you would like to read, we have an abridged version of the Amidah prayer in your Siddur on pages 9 and 10. The Avot L'Lemahot means thank you, God, for everything you did for our ancestors. Please rise if you are able.
Silence.
This next prayer is about peace. As you all know, on October 7th, 2023, approximately 1,200 people of Israel were killed and 253 people were kidnapped. This is the biggest massacre against Jews since the Holocaust. In response, Israel has been attacking Gaza to try and stop Hamas and to retrieve the people held hostage. This conflict has been very sad and emotional for many. It has triggered a lot of anti-Semitism throughout the world. I hope this prayer creates some wishes for peace for everyone impacted. Please join me in singing the Oseh Shalom. So this is the part of our service where things get dramatic. It's the Torah service, a service within the service that is all about ancient Jewish wisdom, written probably around 1,000 years ago, although the stories and oral underpinnings are probably more like 2,500 years old. And the most amazing thing is that we still can get wisdom from it today. Now, we've been keeping the Torah under this family heirloom that's been in Lynn's family for a number of generations. It is in Hebrew, without vowels, and for those of you that have just been through a bar bat mitzvah, that's pretty hard to do without the vowels. And it's written on animal skins using special inks.
Bodhi will be using a yad, which loosely means pointer, and that way he doesn't touch and smudge the words as he reads. This part of the service has its own choreography, and the Torah has its own special place in Judaism. So we are going to start with a poem, and then we'll move from there.
I would now like to call up my Hebrew teacher and family friend Caroline to read this poem by Rabbi Rami Shapiro.
In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world. At each age, we are challenged by the ancient teacher. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of insight.
Okay, so now we're going to ask that everyone rise, and people that are coming up for the Torah class, which is Zach and Leah Samuels, Sid and Joyce Turner, Sandy and Claudia Samuels, Poppy, Baba, Annie, Glenn, Shayna, Levi, and obviously Bodhi. If you all will line up by generation, we're going to bring the Torah down to you. And we're doing this because ancient wisdom is definitely passed down in the form of a scroll, but it is also passed down through our own knowledge, from generation to generation, Lador Vador. Bodhi's going to read the first line. We're going to repeat. Bodhi's going to read the second line. We're going to repeat. And he's going to do the third line all by himself.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadol Adonai Iti, Umromama Shemo Yachdav.
Yalla,
it.
You may be seated. So, people often wonder why we walk around with the Torah. And initially, I wondered myself. And I thought it was because the Torah was something that we needed to sort of honor and revere, and that's why we walked around with it. And when I heard really what it was actually the exact opposite. The idea of walking around with the Torah is to show that Jewish wisdom is accessible to everyone. And it doesn't necessarily live on high in an ark or on a stage such as this, but it lives within each of us as we pass down wisdom through generations about family conflicts, about enduring wisdom about what's important in life, and about how to do freedom well. And so what we are going to do is the Torah service from this point, and we're going to undress the Torah, but we need help. So Caroline is going to be our Gabbai, who is the person that guards the words of Torah. And I'm going to call up Levi you're going to do the first Torah reading. And then, so an aliyah, it means to come up. And the idea behind an aliyah, about someone coming up, is that not everyone needs to know how to read from Torah. It is not a requirement, it's not a necessity, and so therefore having an aliyah allows you to be very close to the Torah, experience it without having to necessarily know how to read it, although if you have an aliyah, you may also know how to read from Torah. So our first Torah reader is actually going to be Levi, reading the portion that he read at his bar mitzvah, and he's going to get to do it live for the very first time since he had a Zoom mitzvah during COVID. And for the aliyah, we're going to call up Poppy and Baba, so Ya'amod, grandparents Barbara and Harry Turner, Braha Pesach Bat Aharon, Vizvi Ben Yehuda Halevi Harishon.
Te Levi, Bahamata Oto, Bifne, Aharon, Hakame, Bishitu Oto, Bishamru, at Mishmarta, Bet Mishmeret, Kol Haida, Bifne, Ohame, Lahabo, et Tamishka, Vishamru, at Kokle, Ohel, Ohel Moed, at Mishmeret, Bene Israel, Lahabo, et Tamishka, Benatata, et Halviim, Aharon, Netunim Hema Lo, Me'e, Bene Israel, Ve'et Aharon, Ve'et Benafti Kod, Vishamru, et Gehunatam, Ve'hazar HaKarev, Yuma.
And our Torah reader is going to be Bodhi's mom.
Vaydaber Adonai El Moshe ve'Aaron lemor Naso et Rosh b'nei Kehat mitoch b'nei Levi Lemishpachotam Beit Avotam Miben 30 shana v'mala Ve'ad ben 50 shana Kol bam letzavah La'asot melacha be'ohel moed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah te'veh
right, and so Bodhi's going to read the next two aliyot, and so next people to call up for the aliyah are Bodhi's parents, Glenn and Gina Turner, Gamliel Reuben Ben Bracha Pesach, Vizvi Halevi, Shena Hana Bat Zahava, Vaberyl Dov Halevi, Hashlishi.
So, Avodah B'nai Kehat Be'ohel Moed Kodesh HaKodeshim Uva Aharon Uva Nav Binsoa HaMahaneh Behoridu E Tara Hamasa Lefisuva E Aron Haitu Benanu Olav Kasu or Tahash Ufarsu Beged Khalil Tehela Yamala Besamu Badav.
So this is the part when you've heard people say they are called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. This is the calling part, because not only will Bodhi be reading from the Torah, he will also have this aliyah. So, Bodhi Turner, Ben Zion, Raphael, Ben Shena Chana, Gamliel Reuben Halevi, Hamaftir.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'char banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Ve'al shulchan ha'panim Yifresu Beged Tehela V'na'nu alav Et hakarot Ve'et hakafot Ve'et hamnakiyot Ve'et kisot Hamnasa V'lechem hatamid alav yeh Ufarsu alehem Beged tolat shamid Vechisu oto V'misei or tahash V'samu et badav Ve'lahu Beged Tehela, Vechisu, Et Menorah, Hamaor, Ve'nei Roteha, Ve'makaheha, Ve'atoteha, Et Kolklei Shamna, Asher Yishartu La, Bahem, Ve'natnu Ota, Ve'et Kolklei Leha, El Misei, or Tahash, Ve'natnu Al Hama'o. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Adonai, Noten Torah.
Amen. And so Yasher Koach means may you be strengthened. And when I was little, sitting in synagogue, I always thought it meant, wow, you just did something really hard, and you did it really well. May you do really hard things really well for the rest of your life. So amazing. That was really hard, and you did it really well. So if we could all say a hearty Yasher Koach on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yasher Koach! So now Bodhi's going to share his Dvar Torah, which is an interpretation of the Torah, to make these ancient words and stories have relevance and meaning for today.
This week's Torah portion is Bamidbar, which directly means in the wilderness and is in the book of Numbers. There are 54 Torah portions that we read during the year. This particular one is very meaningful to me and my family. The first Bamidbar bar mitzvah in my family that I know of was in the year 1882. This was my paternal great-great-grandfather Solomon. The next was my great-grandfather Julius in the year 1910. Next was my grandfather Harry in the year 1950. Next was my Aunt Jill. Next was my father Glenn. The next one was my parents' wedding, which coincidentally was on Bamidbar, followed by my brother Levi a few years ago in Almeida. A bar mitzvah is all about passing down traditions from generation to generation. In Hebrew, this is Lador Vador. The Parshat Bamidbar is about a census that God instructed Moses to conduct. This census was to count how many males were in each tribe and eligible to fight in upcoming battles for territory. Women and children were not counted in this, only men ages 20 to 60 for each tribe, except for Levites. There were 12 brothers who started all the tribes. Their names were Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Reuben, Simeon, Gad, Ephraim, Manasseh, Benjamin, Dan, Asher, and Naphtali. When the brothers and their families were following the 10 Commandments, Levi and his family were learning, and this is why they weren't a part of the main census. The Levites were counted, but in a different way. The Levites that were counted were males ages 30 days and up. Their job was to protect the tabernacle while the other tribes fought for territory. It's interesting that the Levites are talked about in this chapter, because both of my parents are Levites, therefore I am too. When someone first reads Bamidbar, they may find it very boring, because most of it is lists of names, tribes, and numbers, and it is very repetitive. But there are some very interesting things if you pay closer attention, and some of these things relate to me and my bar mitzvah. This parsha is meaningful to me personally, because it made me think about what it means to be counted or not counted in a community. In Bamidbar, women and children were not counted, and I wondered if people with disabilities were counted. This brings me to tell all of you about my mitzvah project. A mitzvah is a good deed. A mitzvah project is a part of the teaching of a bar mitzvah to understand the importance of everyone and helping others. A mitzvah project is something one does to improve the world in a small but meaningful way. For my mitzvah project, I volunteered at the Special Olympics program. One day, I went to a bowling event with my dad. Our job was to sit at the table and encourage the competitors while watching them bowl. I was very surprised about how good everyone was. It was competitive, but everyone encouraged each other and was happy when an opponent did something well. It made me feel really good seeing smiles after smiles while high-fiving everyone. Another day, I went with my mom to volunteer at a regional basketball tournament. Our job was to watch while keeping the score. There was a game every hour from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. There were 3 brackets with 3 games in each. It was incredible to see so many different people with so many different disabilities having the best time being a team player and trying their hardest. Some of them in the first 2 brackets would walk up and down the court, encouraging the audience to cheer for them. In the third and last league, the games went very quickly, and I didn't notice any disabilities because everyone played so well. In the Special Olympics, everyone counts. This is different from Bamidbar, which doesn't actually count everyone. In my opinion, everyone should be counted and seen individually, because everyone is important and has a purpose. I hope that the Bamidbar tradition will continue in my family. This next prayer is the healing prayer. This prayer is to help anyone who is ill and also for anyone who couldn't make it tonight due to illness. This is not only for physical healing, but also mental and spiritual healing. This is for the people who have suffered. We can send healing thoughts, and that is what this prayer is. Please join me in singing with me Shiverach.
So as Bodhi begins to lift the Torah, for us to all view it and see what was just read, we sing Vezot HaTorah.
I would now like to call on my cousins Amelia and Phoebe to help dress the Torah.
So at Judaism Your Way, we ask students to spend some time reflecting on what all this has meant to them. What have they done Jewishly leading up to their bar mitzvah? What was the process of having a bar mitzvah experience like? And since this is just one milestone on their journey, where do they see themselves going from here? What does it mean to them to be a Jewish adult? Bodhi will share his thoughts with us now.
In the first year of coming to Judaism Your Way, everything was very laid back. We learned about well-known and not well-known Jewish holidays, and we played games every day. We learned in detail about what makes a sukkah, and we did Reader's Leader while cooking and baking challah and matzah and other Jewish foods. At the same time, I worked with Caroline and had weekly FaceTimes with my grandpa. When I went to the second year of Judaism Your Way, I felt intimidated by the Siddur, and it seemed like so much work, but as the weeks went on, it felt like less work and it got less intimidating. I kept working with Caroline every week and Amy every 2 weeks, and now here I am. Being Jewish means a lot to me and my family. My favorite parts are Hanukkah and going to California for Passover, especially hiding and finding the afikoman. I love Baba's matzo ball soup that she makes on holidays. I love my mom's brisket that she makes in Rosh Hashanah. I appreciate getting to understand myself and my heritage more by becoming a part of this ancient tradition. In these past years, I have learned a ton about what it means to be Jewish, and I am grateful that I will be able to keep these traditions alive for generations to come. Thank you to Amy for being my main teacher and preparing for my bar mitzvah. If I ever had any questions about anything related to Judaism, you would always do your best with it. Thank you to Caroline for helping me every week to learn Hebrew, talk through my Torah portion, and make learning about Judaism fun. Thanks to Eyal for playing guitar during my service. Thanks to Levi for being a great big brother. I am so grateful that my grandpa Nardi helped me with my bar mitzvah before he passed away. We FaceTimed weekly and talked about Jewish holidays, God, what it means to be Jewish, what's kosher, and other random questions I have. He is here with us in spirit, and I know he would be very proud of me today. I am grateful to Annie for helping with all the decorations and supporting my mom in the organization of the park. I'm thankful to Bobby for teaching me all about Bamidbar and the family tradition of it. Thank you to Baba for helping me with the invitations that you all received. Thank you to my mom for always reminding me to do my Hebrew and helping me write my Kava note on Sundays. Thank you for helping with basically all of the planning so this bar mitzvah could work and be meaningful and fun. Thank you to my dad for always being there for me and giving me advice when I needed it. I especially appreciate our shared love for soccer, watching the Premier League games on weekends, and discussing strategy after my games. I am so thankful for my parents and everything they have done for me. They have always supported me, gave me opportunities, and made everything possible. They have driven me to Hebrew every other Tuesday for the last 2 weeks, and Caroline almost every week, and got me sandwiches and cookies before every class. Thank you for always driving me to soccer and for everything you do for me. And thank you to you all who made the effort to come to my bar mitzvah today, especially those who traveled from out of town. It definitely would not be the same without all of you here.
And now there's a couple people who would like to say some things to you. I'd like to call Sheena and Glenn.
Bodhi, don't worry, this won't be too long or embarrassing. Well, at least not too long. Just kidding. Bodhi, you have always been a wise, inquisitive soul. You have been asking deep questions since you were very young. Around the age of 4, you concluded that life was all a little girl's dream. You're a thinker and sometimes an overthinker, but we trust that your intelligence and thoughtfulness will guide you well. You're a hard worker and very determined. Knowing you wanted to be a better soccer player, you practiced tricks in your room every night this past year. Recently, as tryouts were coming up, you told us about a quote you heard, that amateur players practice a trick until they get it right, but pros practice until they can't get it wrong. That was from Ronaldo. We're impressed at how you approach challenges with this focused mindset and believe this will take you far. We hope you also know, though, that it is okay to get things wrong or not be perfect, and that is how you learn and grow. We hope you will take both losing and winning in stride as your soccer career takes off. We can't give a whole speech about you without mentioning your love of math, which, by the way, was also your cousin Beth's passion, who you are named after. Since you were a toddler, you have always thought that math was fun. We know it's not cool to admit this, but we see how your eyes light up when you learn something new or figure out an especially complicated problem. We have no idea how you do it. Most importantly, Bodhi, you're a good person. You are kind and you care about others.
We couldn't be more proud of you today. You studied hard, practiced a lot, and absorbed the significance of this ritual, which is thousands of years old. We hope that this experience will bring you closer to understanding who you are and give you strong roots and a sense of belonging in this crazy world. As you continue your life's journey, we hope this community of support that you feel today will provide comfort and security throughout your life, as well as a connection to something larger than yourself. We wish you a lifetime of good health, constant learning, and curiosity, and being surrounded by love. We want to end with an Apache blessing that was sent by our beloved friend Roro for your bar mitzvah. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. May the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life. We love you so much, Ruby. Mazel tov.
Especially around different words and linguistics and things like that. You always wanted to know what something meant and why it was being said. And I very much appreciate that because as a teacher, I got to help you out as well as a couple of your fellow students. And what I think it will be great is because you have this amazing leadership quality about you, as we've talked about before, but what makes that so amazing is that you're a leader who is still going to ask questions. You're not going to blindly take a step forward. You're always going to check in and make sure, is what I'm leading correct? Is what I'm leading make sense? And do I understand it? And I think that served you extremely well today. And I think it's going to serve you even better the rest of your life as you constantly question things, check in, and it's, as we all know, a very Jewish thing to question. So you're fitting in quite well with your heritage and your lineage. So today you did such a beautiful job. You even went really slowly, which we were worried about, and I'm so, so proud of you. All right, and so now it's your turn to get to bless Bodhi. So the path of adolescence into adulthood is not an easy one. Bodhi will rely on each of you as he is working through the trials and tribulations of growing up. So I'd like to call up Cullen Clark, Palmer Cunningham, Levi, and Amelia. I'm thinking we're going to do this right over here. This actually is a chuppah. So for those of you that may have been married under a chuppah, the idea behind a chuppah is that it is supposed to shelter you and give you protection. And so his friends and cousins are going to come up and hold it for him. And if you look on this particular chuppah, I'm going to set this down and just talk really quick. So this is all of the artwork that Bodhi and his fellow students created. They took their Jewish wisdom projects, their Torah portions, and their other projects, and turned them into pieces of art. Bodhi's is down here. This is a depiction of Bamidbar, the wilderness. And so they're going to hold this over you, and those students for your class that can be here, are going to kind of be here with you. You all will wait for them, and then hold it up there. All right, so while they're doing that, we are going to get to give the blessing to Bodhi. So it's a 3-line blessing. I will say it first in Hebrew and then in English. And then your job is to affirm each of these blessings by either saying, Kain Yehi Ratzon, if you're comfortable with the Hebrew, or may it be so if you prefer the English. And we'll do this 3 times for each of the 3 blessings. You can hold them a little higher. Do you think you can? All right, perfect. All right. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the source of life bless you and protect you. Ya'ir Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May the light of the sacred illuminate your life with meaning. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May that shining radiance lift you up, and may you know peace.
The first time I said enormous cottage was a few months ago for my grandpa's 1-year unveil. I find it very interesting that in all the years Jews have been around, they've always said the same prayer for people who have passed, enormous cottage. My grandpa and my great-grandparents and my great-great-grandparents are all in this lineage of ancestors that we honor in this prayer. Amy, you will lead this prayer.
So in some Jewish communities, the mourners rise for the mourners Kaddish. And in some Jewish communities, everyone rises for the mourners Kaddish. For Bodhi, this is really about connection and non-judgment. So if it is in your tradition to rise, please rise. If it is in your tradition to stay seated, please stay seated. If you don't have a tradition around it, anything goes. So please rise or stay seated as is your tradition. Gadol v'kadash shemei rabah, v'amad yirach yirteh v'amlik mahuteh, v'hayakon v'yomekon v'hayeh tehol beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabah v'barach le'olam u'me'am hayam. Yitbarach v'yishtabah v'yipar v'yitreman v'yinaseh. Vitadar, Vitaleh, Vitalol, Shenei, Tekudashah, Briahu. Le'ela, Minkol, Birchata, Shirata, Tishbachata, Benechnata, Dan, Iran, Bialma, Imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama, Rabba, Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu, V'yal Yisrael, Imru, Amen. Osei Shalom, B'Ramah, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'yal Yisrael, Imru, Amen. So Bodhi's cousins, Phoebe and Aria, are going to be handing out some candy. Please hang on to it for a moment. It will come in handy in a moment, and you aren't going to want to eat it.
This prayer has been interpreted to mean that it is our job or duty to repair or fix the world. This is important to me because there are many things in our world that need fixing, including climate change, discrimination, pollution, etc. I believe we should all help the world in a small way so future generations can have a better world. I would now like to call on my Uncle Brian, who I call Bookie, to read this poem by Trisha Arwood. It is an English interpretation of the meaning of the Iliad.
It is upon us to repair broken places. It is upon us to face the truth, no matter how difficult. It is upon us to see that justice is complex and not always easy. It is upon us to know when we have choices and to make them. It is upon us to understand that our prayers are holy conversations. It is upon us to be mindful and to take our spirituality seriously. It is upon us to hold more than one idea of God in our heads at any given time. It is upon us to enjoy our bodies without shame. It is upon us to listen when others say no and when they say yes. It is upon us to have fun and to spread it around.
The Havdalah ritual is about about recognizing spiritual change and is said at the end of Shabbat to recognize the difference between Shabbat and the rest of the week. This ritual uses all 5 of your senses. Touch for feeling the cup and holding the Havdalah candle, smell for the spices, sight for seeing the flame, taste for the wine, hearing for hearing the blessings, and the sizzle that happens when the candle is extinguished in the wine. When I hold up the spices, there are spice packets in each row. If you have one, please pass it out so everyone can participate by smelling the stuff. Please join me in my concluding song, Hayvenu Shalom Aleichem, which means may peace come to us soon. I would like to call on my dad and my brother to join me and my mom to sing this. We will now be Jew and sing the Kiddush and Hamotzi.
fun and what you all were waiting for. Just a brief announcement. When we conclude, you're going to be heading back to the bar area while they set up for the dance floor. And if you head over to this side here, you're going to pick up a little bag of jelly beans, and that's going to tell you where you'll be sitting this evening for dinner. But before we get to that part, we're going to conclude by throwing candy at Bodhi. Now, for those of you in that row right there, gently. That is a key term here. Because the idea behind this is that as Bodhi goes through difficulties in life and goes through his maturation from adolescence into adulthood, things are going to be difficult. And so he needs to know about the sweetness that is coming from each of you, his supporters, as he goes through life's trials. So, I'm going to have you step over here so we don't have to pour candy, logistics, and like